Hey guys, it's Allison again here at Thrive Yoga in Rockville, Maryland, and today we're talking handstand strengthening drills. So most of the workshops that I teach or that you would go to that revolve around this idea of handstands sort of presume that the students who walk in have the requisite amount of strength to get into the pose, and that it's just a matter of teaching the alignments or different ways to approach it. But if you don't necessarily have the right amount of strength first before you go into the workshop, then what are you supposed to do? So that's what we're going to focus on today, that aspect of it. Because to get better at handstand, you have to have strength and you have to have confidence. And the way that you do that, the way that you build those things is by creating this repetition, by doing a movement or a certain type of engagement or a drill repeatedly. And that teaches your body sort of where it needs to be, and also helps it to bring up the amount of strength so that it might be able to match the skill. But the problem with that is that you can't do repetition of something you're not strong enough yet to do, or that you're not confident with. So that's the idea behind this video, is I'm going to give you guys some ideas or some thoughts, some ways to break things down in a way that allows you to repeat it, so that you can ultimately move on to another drill and ultimately perhaps move on to a handstand or other inversion. These are all pretty much universal for forearm balance or for headstand, to help build that familiarity with the poses and help create that strength inside yourself and that confidence to use the strength inside yourself to accomplish those poses. So let's get started. So one of the things that people struggle with when dealing with handstand is that scary factor of what it feels like to have your hips over your shoulders, which is just not something that we spend a lot of time doing in life, so it can be a little intimidating and it can feel really weird. So one of the things I get people to practice is sort of getting that alignment. I'm going to give you two different things you can do. So the first one, if you come into your downward facing dog, you firmly press your hands into the floor so that the entire surface of your hand is pressed down. It's helpful to have your pointer fingers pointed straight towards the front of your mat so that your hands are slightly rotated. That helps to get this sort of hugging in action that will help to support you in handstand later. So from here, look past your fingertips like you're a big cat and you're going to pounce. But we're not going to pounce. We're just going to rise up high onto the balls of our feet and start to tiptoe in. I'm going to keep my legs as straight as I can, working on just lifting my hips high. Start to slide my shoulders right over my wrist, keeping the entire surface of my palm down. And I'm going to walk my feet in as close as I can get them, lift my hips as high as I can, and keep pushing into the floor. Keep my arms straight and completely flat against the floor. Maybe I can walk in a little closer, come up really, really high, pull my belly in super tight, and then release out and fold in. Okay, so it doesn't look like much, but it's a little bit scary, so give it a try for yourself. Again, we're just working to get the hips closer to being over the shoulders and the shoulders right over your wrists, that alignment of handstand. The other thing that you can do to create that same action, so say walking in on your tiptoes has gotten a little bit easy. You can stand on your block. It's a little like birdie perch. All right, and then from here, I'm gonna take my knees wide so I can get my hands to the floor. Again, keeping my hands shoulder width distance apart, and my pointer finger is pointed straight ahead so that I can really feel that I've got the whole surface of my palm against the floor. Keeping everything, my hands are glued to the floor, the entire surface stays pressing down. And then I'm gonna start to straighten my legs out. Okay, so this is just starting to get my feet higher so my hips can come higher. Here too, I'm gonna start working up onto the balls of my feet, shift my weight forward so my shoulders are right over my wrists. Look a little bit forward and try to keep lifting my hips up. Arms straight, palms flat, belly pulls in, hips lift. Push the floor away, and then release. Not only is that a little scary, it's also a little bit hard. So give those a shot. Okay, last month we did elbows at the wall, half stand, handstand with your legs up on the wall. So if you're struggling with keeping your feet up on the wall, sometimes slippery feet, sometimes there's a lot of different things that can cause that to be a bit of a challenge. So I'm gonna give you another option here just to start getting you used to having weight in your hands. So this will be sort of a step down from elbows. But the setup is primarily the same. So you'll come into, except, oh, big change here. We're gonna use some props. I have 3 yoga bolsters here. You could also use your couch or chair, but just make sure it's anchored against something so that it doesn't slide, because you don't want what you're standing on to sort of out from underneath you. So, hands as wide as you would in downward facing dog. Pointer fingers pointed straight ahead. Remember, this is the foundation for coming into handstand. And then from here, I'm gonna take it nice and shallow. So a little closer together than my feet and hands would normally be for downward facing dog. And I come up, my heels are on the bolster. And then from here, tuck my toes, push my feet against the wall, and bring my legs up onto the bolster. And then I can start working to get my shoulders right over my wrists. Now you'll notice my hips are not over my shoulders, so that's why this is a little bit easier. Plus your legs won't slide. So this just kind of gets you used to what it feels like to have a little bit of weight in your hands. It's a good workup to coming into elbow pose at some point. Okay, so this next drill is for people that are ready to start working all the way up into handstand. We're gonna use the support of the wall, we're gonna kick up, okay? So you're gonna set up so that you're near a very sturdy wall. And then your mat's a little bit away from it so that you have a nice place for your hands to rest. Your hands are probably gonna be about 12 to 16 inches off the wall, maybe a little bit less depending. But same setup for the hands. Pointer fingers point straight ahead. And then you're gonna come up into your downward facing dog. Let me secure my shirt. Downward facing dog. And then from here, walk one of your feet forward, about halfway, and bend your knee. This is gonna be your Tigger leg. He's bouncy, okay? The other leg is gonna be extended. And he's gonna be extended in a way that's not like spaghetti extension, okay? Like stiff extension, toes pointed, sort of like you're in Warrior 3. This leg is a pendulum. It's gonna stay very straight, very active, reach out through your heel. Now look forward towards the joint between the floor and the wall. Keep your eyeballs there. Keep looking forward and start to just bounce on your bottom leg. Your weight will start to shift forward, and as your bounce gets bigger, you might start to come up more. And then maybe find the wall. And once you get up to the wall, squeeze your legs together, pull your ribs in, push the floor away. And then you just work on holding here for a while. This is a great strengthening drill. Just working on holding this position. Whew. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, so kicking up, we did that. We're gonna work on some other drills now that help you to get up into handstand away from the wall. So if you're able to hold handstand and you wanna work on jumping in to handstand, or you just wanna play with some cool stuff, this is also super fun. This is probably my most favorite part of this. I'm gonna give you 2 different ways that you can start working on jumping forward. I'm gonna do this at the wall, because it's hard to talk, and keep core engagement and keep a handstand all together at the same time. Plus, you can do this at the wall. So if this is scary for you, but you still want to play with it, just be near a wall. So I'm going to set up a little further away from the wall this time because I don't want to use the wall to lean on. I just want it to keep me from falling all the way over. So setup is the same with the hands, noticing a pattern here. Right. Come into downward facing dog. So the first one we'll do is scissor kicks. So this is just like kicking up when we're going to switch feet. So you'll bring one foot closer in, shift your weight a little bit forward so it's coming closer to over your wrists. Back leg is going to be very straight, very active, and the bottom leg is going to be your hopper, but in mid-air you'll switch. So at first it's going to look like this. And that's fine, just getting used to putting weight in your hands. But over time, you start to work to slow it down and make it higher. So pushing here, maybe slow it at the top, switch. Do a couple of those, you need to take a little breath, because that'll get you out of breath. Now, another way. For most people, for some people, this is a little bit easier, even though it's a little bit scarier as well. We're gonna work on the hop, hopping both feet at the same time from downward facing dog, and then creating this Baddha Konasana leg. So Baddha Konasana is soles of the feet to touch, knees wide. So butterfly, some people call it. We're gonna work on jumping and clapping the feet together with the knees wide. So, from down dog. The idea here is to just shift a little bit, hop, and clap your feet together, okay? So, feet together, come up high onto the balls of my feet, pull my belly and my ribs in. I'm gonna bend, and jump, and clap. And then come back down, reset up. High onto the balls of my feet, look forward, hop, clap, okay? And then over time, you might start to catch a little bit of hang time. Okay? Jump. Okay, that one's super fun. Also gets you out of breath. So play around with those guys and let me know in the comments how it goes. I really enjoy doing this stuff. I enjoy teaching it. I really hope you guys enjoy it too. Have a good one.